welcome. I'm Danny Fallon. I'm the chair of the Department of Mental Health, and we are so happy to see you guys here for one of our many Centennial events. But we're really proud of this particular event because this is a time not only to hear from our keynote speaker, who I'll introduce in a little bit, who's actually running late, so we're switching the order a little bit on you. But also from 5 of our own alumni who work in various different sectors of mental or public mental health now. And we think it's a great opportunity to hear about how this grand experiment that we've been doing for 60 years in this department and 100 years as a school of juxtaposing mental health with public health tools can really impact what they do, and hopefully what all of you do, those of you who are students now going out into the world, and those of us who are already here to remind us of why we do what we do and how we could continue to do it better. So I'm really excited to hear from our peers in that way. And I think it's sort of a fun moment to think about the past students interacting with the present students, and then thinking about future students. So before our keynote arrives, I'm going to show you a new video that was produced by this school that is a recruitment video for new students. But I think it's quite inspiring for all of us to sort of see what the potential of mental health is. I wanted to remind all of you who hopefully have already seen this website many times that this has our calendar of events for the month. So if you ever forget about something, we had a really fabulous seminar by 4 of our current doctoral, well, Stacy, slightly post-current doctoral students, talking about what they do to engage with Baltimore City, and this is part of the larger Baltimore Engage initiative. We had folks from Source and from Spark, as well as our students. It was really inspiring for those of you who were here, and for those of you who were part of the speakers, thank you again, because that was a really lovely moment to hear what was going on locally. And then apparently there was a trivia happy hour last night that was a wild success. I've seen some pictures. That was student run, and I think it was a good time. And then we're very excited for today as the eve of Global Mental Health Day tomorrow. And Yura, who is a doctoral student in our department and a TA for the public mental health course that I teach in first quarter, ended our session that we just left for public mental health as we came here by reminding everybody to check out the WHO site for Global Mental Health Day as a reminder about the importance of mental health, not only locally but globally, and to seek information about mental health on such an important sort of reminder day for us all. One other thing that I wanted to mention is that I think this is an interesting idea, and we'll see how this experiment goes and whether we want to then keep continuing it. But as part of the Centennial celebration, we were hoping to sort of engage the rest of the School of Public Health to be thinking about mental health and the impact of mental health on all aspects of public health. So even if you are a molecular biologist thinking about new areas of malaria research, how does understanding mental health inform what you do? Or if you're interested in cardiovascular disease prevention, how does thinking about mental health inform what you do or the impact that you could have? And one way to kind of raise that awareness was to challenge students in other departments to write about how mental health could interplay with the kinds of things that they're interested in. And so we initiated this essay contest, which is right here on the website, that has a cash prize for the best essay of a non-departmental student who can tell us about how their work interplays with mental health. So hopefully that will just get some conversations started amongst folks around the school. And I think the other one that I really want to mention in terms of the calendar, because you'll see lots of other things, is the Centennial Policy Scholar Seminar Series. So in addition to this symposia, we have a couple of others, including one by the Wendy Clegg Center, but importantly, we have a joint series with the Health Policy and Management Department where we will be focusing on closing the mental health and addiction treatment gap through policy, and that will have Congressman Henry Waxman as well as other experts in the field within Hopkins and outside of Hopkins, and I think that'll be another opportunity for sort of a big discussion that focuses on mental health in the context of public health this month. So I hope that many of you are interested in coming to those things. And the last thing that I'll say before showing that video that I mentioned is I am now learning to be of the 21st century. I've gotten a Twitter account and I've figured out how to say some things. I encourage you to join me in this new skill. And so you'll see at the bottom hashtag JHDMH that we started because of the Centennial. So if you hear something today that particularly struck your fancy and you want to make sure everybody not in this room also knows about it, feel free to tweet during the session or after. And it is for the Centennial, but we will keep that hashtag going hopefully forever. So as things come up that you think are relevant to mental health, we encourage you to use that hashtag if you are a tweeter. And if you're not, get on board. All right. It's incredibly important that we have a Department of Mental Health that is one of 10 departments in a school of public health. And so it's inspiring to think about how we integrate mental health into the public's health.
Our department solely focuses on mental health, and no one else takes that approach.
There's sort of a synergy that occurs when people with different backgrounds and different perspectives work together to answer important questions.
We have treatments out there. We need to figure out whether they work. We need to figure out who's getting them, when they're getting them, and what happens when they get them.
The Department of Mental Health really gives you a lexicon of that is much more like you would get in a school of psychology or sociology or something like that, but in the context of rigorous public health training.
Our faculty are world-renowned, our students come from all over the world, and our faculty are there to support you.
2 spots go to our department and then 1 spot.
I try to involve my students in my research. I find it to be, it improves the experience for me, and it improves the training experiences for the students.
Working with the faculty was somewhat of a dream actually throughout my whole career. And then once I actually got to know them personally, it made a world of difference.
For those types of students.
Although we are a relatively small department and having only 30 faculty, we can offer an enormous number of courses.
We do work in drug and alcohol epidemiology. We have the Wendy Clegg Center, Children's Mental Health Services Research Program, mental health statistics, health policy and law. So there's just a really great breadth of programs.
So there's like an interesting aspect of this data. Its standard deviation is about 3.
The networking opportunities you get by being in the Bloomberg School are incredible. Not only the cohort of folks that you know within the department, but the folks that you get to meet across departments will become the leaders in whatever public health sector you choose to work in down the road.
When people ask me about my goals now, I feel like a whole new set of possibilities has suddenly opened up before me. I could go and work in the NGO world. I could continue my sort of progression through academia. The applications are endless.
The Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health is the premier school of public health in the world. Our students leave their training with extremely valuable skills.
What students get is a survey of what public health is and how mental health can inform public health. It's a really broad set of opportunities that are opened up for you because you now speak the language of mental and behavioral health as well as the language of public health, and that combination is unique.
This school is cutting edge, and what we learn here is cutting edge, and we leave here with a really unique skill set.
Students can come, be on the ground floor of groundbreaking projects and experience, and they can make their own way and change the world.